Hi, this is Katie with craftingwithkatie.com, and today I'm going to be making a tag using the Cricut Imagine All Wrapped Up cartridge. This is the tag I'm going to be making, but I don't want it to be in these colors, so instead I'm going to cache some patterns from two other cartridges. I'm going to get one from the Imagine More cards, and then I'm going to get a couple from Vintage Paper, and then I'll be able to use them to make my tag. Okay, I have my Vintage Papers cartridge in my Imagine, so I'm going to click Print and Cut. And since this one has only patterns on it, no images, you have to click again. And then I'm just going to click here so I can see some shapes. So what you want to do is select a shape, even though you're not going to be using it, so you can see all of the patterns. The first pattern I want is this one. It's very neutral and it'll be good to use for my stamps. So what you do is just hold it on it and click Cache Pattern. Now the Imagine will let you cache up to 3 patterns at a time. So once I have this one, I'll find the other one that I wanted. Takes a few moments. Okay, the next one, I think it's this one. I'm just going to double check. Actually, it's this one, the dark brown. So I'm going to, again, hold it down, hit Cache Pattern. Now that I'm ready to pull from my other cartridge, Imagine More cards, I'm just going to pull out Vintage Papers and replace it with Imagine More cards. Now, you don't want to turn your Imagine off in between or you'll lose the patterns that you cached. Okay, so if I click here and just choose one, I can again see my patterns. And there was a red polka dot, this one that I want to use. Okay, which I didn't actually, what I've done is I just filled it in that shape. I didn't need to do that. I need to hold it. Cache Pattern. Okay, so that's 3 patterns. So once the hourglass goes away, I'm going to put in the All Wrapped Up cartridge because that's the one I actually want to use. Okay, so now I have my All Wrapped Up cartridge in here, and I'm going to scroll over to find my tag. There are a lot of cute things on this cartridge if you don't have it. And then if you don't, like, I don't really like these orange and turquoise together, but you can always take other patterns from any of your cartridges and print them in a different way. So it's really fun. Getting closer. There's my tag. Okay, so I clicked that little pencil to select it, and I want it to cut out in layers, so I'm going to click that. Now, I'm not sure about the size for this. There's a little rectangle, I don't know how well you can see it, in here that I'm going to be stamping my sentiment on, and I know just because I just did it on some scratch paper, it's going to be about 2.5 inches wide. So right now the tag is set at 5 inches. I'm going to just hit apply and go to the mat so I can see how big that rectangle is. And it's right here. Actually, it looks just about 2.5 inches. I think that'll actually be perfect. So I'm going to go back, and now I can adjust the colors of all of these. Now for my actual tag, I'm going to be using some paper tray cardstock because I want a nice sturdy cardstock for my tag, and I don't need to actually give it any color. So what I'm going to do is click on the pencil. Actually, I think it's right here, and I'm going to click this, and that's just going to cut it and it won't print it. So I can cut it on some turquoise cardstock and it'll be just fine. So I'll apply that. Okay, now if you look here at the tag, you can see what each part is. So my main part of my tag, which will be this up here, actually will be the turquoise. Now, I think what I'll do is put the dark brown down here. So if I click on it's like a little scallop border. And if you scroll all the way to the right, you should see the patterns that I cached. See, there they are. So I wanted the brown one. So I'm going to apply that. Now this rectangle is the larger one in the background, and I wanted this to be the polka dots. There we go. And then this last one is going to be that creamy kind of neutral color, which is this one. So I'm going to hit apply and hit next. And actually, now that I think about it, if I go ahead and cut this right now, my paper tray ink cardstock I usually do on a multi-cut. So I'm actually going to take this out. I'm just going to delete it. Oops, not that one. The tag. I think I need to calibrate my screen. You know what? I'm just going to go back. Get rid of it this way. Okay, so I'm going to delete the actual big tag shape, print and cut the rest, and then come back and I'll just go ahead and put that back in and cut it out on the turquoise cardstock. Alright, I took all of the pieces of my tag and layered them together and decided it was missing something. So I'm going to add a flower from the Flower Shop cartridge. So right now in my Imagine I have the Flower Shop cartridge loaded and the Imagine More Cards Imagine cartridge so that I can choose a pattern that matches the tag. So I'm going to take this flower here and I'm going to cut this at 1.5 inches. It's already said that. True size 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to go ahead and take that same polka dot pattern. Perfect. Now I'm not sure how many of these I need to layer up the flower and make it look nice, so I think I'll just try 3. So I'm going to change the art quantity to 3. And that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out, and then I'm going to ink up all of my pieces with some Distress ink, and then we'll put the tag together. Okay, now that I've inked everything up, I'm going to take the tag, and I'm going to run it through the Cuttlebug Scene Spots embossing folder. Kind of keep the polka dot theme that's on the red paper. So I'm just going to put my A plate and one of my B plates here. And there's my embossing folder. And another B plate on top. It's getting a little squeaky. Isn't that cute? Okay, I'm back to my flowers here, and I'm going to just use a pencil to kind of roll up the leaves a little bit, just to give it a little bit more dimension. Now if I had wanted to make the flowers have the red polka dots on the back too, so when you curl this up you couldn't see it, what I could have done is first made like a rectangle on the back of my piece of cardstock with just filling the same pattern, and then when I cut it, it would have been double-sided. But I don't really mind. Now, let's see, to be honest, I might adjust these a little bit more. I don't know if I need all 3. Nah, I think I could actually just do 2. There we go. Alright, and I just want to make sure that they're kind of alternating. There we go. And then the next step is going to be to put a little button in the middle. But I think I'm going to wait on that because I want to put the whole thing together and see what color. Okay, for my sentiment, I'm going to be using this Happy Birthday from My Creative Time Many Greetings. And I'm going to be actually wanting the 2 words to be side by side instead of one above the other. So to do that, all you have to do is get a little piece of Scotch tape and cover up the part that you don't want. So I'm going to cover up birthday to start. Okay. Okay, so the inks I'm going to be using are the True Black and Pure Poppy from Paper Tray Ink. So for Happy Birthday, I'm going to use the True Black. So now that I have tape there, I can ink up Happy. And here's the important part. You don't want to have the tape on there when you stamp this down. So I'm going to remove that. Let's stick it to my paper. And I'm going to put Happy right there. Perfect. And then clean off your stamp. I've been using baby wipes to clean my stamps, and it works so well. I used to have one of those things that you spray the solution and rub it on, and my stamps are always dirty, but the baby wipes really stay clean. And if I'm using it again right away, I just stamp on the paper to make sure it's dry. So now I need to get another piece of tape. And this time we're going to cover up Happy. I'll be really careful to get all of it. Let me get up. Perfect. And now to spell out my sister-in-law's name, I'm using the My Creative Time Any Day Bingo and Crossword, which has a really fun font, kind of big chunky letters. So her name is Becky, and I'm actually going to start with a C so I can go from the center and make sure everything is centered correctly. So I've got my little block here. I'm going to do these like a little bit tilted. So there's my first one. Okay, so now I'm ready to assemble my card. So I'm just going to lay everything out and see how I like it. My tag, I should say. Okay, now I'm going to look to see if I have a big brown button. Don't like that one. I think that'll be the best. Okay, so I'm going to use my ATG to adhere these first two layers together. But for everything that's going on to the emboss tag, I'm going to actually use the Scotch Quick Dry. I find it works better for something that's embossed. Okay, so I'll just get the little scotch here. Now for the button, I'm going to use some rustic jute button twine from Paper Tray Ink, just to tie a little knot through it. And then I'll use one of these Zots clear adhesive dots to attach the button to the flower. Okay, so here is our completed tag, and I just want to show you again the tag that we used with the All Wrapped Up cartridge so you can see the difference with what we made. So this is the original tag, which is very cute in itself, but I just wanted to show you that with your Imagine, you can really, with the caching patterns, turn these projects that are given to you in your booklets into anything by using all different patterns from all different cartridges. So thanks for watching, and for more of my projects, be sure to stop by craftingwithkatie.com.